welcome to another installment of TED Excellence, the show in which you never know another man until you've typed a mile in his cubicle. And I come to you live from my Corona bunker on the moon with Dogcat Fox, a Pepperjack, and all of you. Good evening, everyone. Welcome again to Thursday. Turbulent Thursday. Yes, we are back once again into the wonderful world of off-brand TED Talks. Hope you're all doing well this evening. Who's all here joining me this evening? I'll start off with the hellos tonight, just for the heck of it. Keever Dam, hello. Jaeger Pony, hello. Jamie Melquist, hello. Kyle Mack, hello. Swirl Blue, hello. Mike R, hello. Zeke Weiss, hello. And I think that's everybody I see. Unless everybody's locked, unless there's something else going on. There's a lot of things going on in the news lately. You know, the Amber Heard, Johnny Depp trial and all the goings on in the world. Who knows? Fun Time Bats, hello. So if I missed anybody, I'll try to do a few more hellos before I begin. But what are we doing this evening? Well, this was one of the runners-up from last week's selection. Can I be myself at work? Now, those of you who have watched the channel for a while might recognize that sentiment and might understand why I'm curious about it. Because the theme of bringing your whole self to work or your authenticity in the workplace and so on has been an interesting conundrum over the course of time. I'm not going to get into it too much, my philosophy or my suspicions about where this may be going, because I could be wrong, and I have made a fool out of myself in the past by jumping the gun, so I'll just wait for that. But Mike Savage, Blarg, Ember WR Costin, hello. Shell D, hello. J2021, hello. Lima Reddick, hello. And Jake Tunsect, hello. Tungtheth, hello. Attack Alpaca, hello. Deco, hello. Good evening to you all. Gulf City Johnny Blaze. Yeah, so not a lot of preamble there, I suppose. Let's see. Bingo card tonight is bingo card B, B as in boss, as was the selected winner from tonight's poll to select the bingo card. If you would like to join in on selecting the bingo card each week, you have to follow me on Twitter. You can see my little Twitter tag there at the bottom of the screen or in the description, or it's just scribe_light. So there you go. And if you will also, before I forget, direct your attention to the top of the chat box. There are some GoFundMes pinned there by Keever Dam. Thank you, Keever Dam. To our friend Shady Grin, Angry Illinoisian, and his kitten. Their friends, and loved ones could certainly use your help if you have the ability to loan a buck or two. So there you go. With that, let's find out about if I don't lose my voice here. Live TV, everybody. 1 second. Let me wet my whistle a little bit. Oh, Pepperjack, you my only friend. So can I be myself at work? What is self? What is work? Can you be yourself at work? I don't think you can. I don't know if you should. But let's see what our speaker has to say. This one clocks in at just over 12 minutes, so you're kind of your standard TEDx. I'll start off with a few seconds for a sound test. You guys tell me if you can hear it, and we will proceed.
The big idea that I want to bring to you today.
Yes. Okay, the big idea you want to bring to us today. Let's see. Let me know if you guys can hear that. I assume you can, but I always like to check. Never take things on faith. Pie Guy 07, hello. Let's see. Ryan R, hello. Sounds good, says Mike R. All right, well, and Keever Dam says the big idea, so there you go. Swirl Blue says sounds good. All right, the big idea
is about how we can bring more of who we are to our work.
More of who we are to our work. Well, I guess it all depends on your job.
I know, sounds simple, but how many of you here have ever had the feeling that perhaps you can't bring all of who you are to the workplace? Can I get a show of hands?
I would dare say it's probably everybody, except for those that are self-employed or, I don't know, are doing something as a career which is an extension of their everyday life in some way, shape, or form. I'd be surprised if 99% of people didn't raise their hand.
Yeah, Yeah, me too. And I already knew I wasn't alone in that because there are many people who I've spoken to throughout my career who have felt the same.
Okay. I mean, this was inevitable. Can you bring is not really the question, I think, that should be asked. The better one is, should you bring? I've talked a lot in different videos about the intentional deterioration of the idea of professional distance in a lot of workplaces these days, promoting the bring your authentic self to work, bring your whole self to work. Here's our employee resource groups, which are split up into different demographics that you might fall into in your life or otherwise. I have some theories that I've spoken of before, but haven't in a while, so I'll restate them later. But we'll see where she goes.
That the environment that they work in somehow was expecting something of them to show up a certain way.
Yeah, on time and according to dress code.
And that there were parts of themselves that they had to deny or somehow hide in order to fit in.
Well, I'm sure we'll get there. Thank you, Mr. Tickletrunk, for the hiya, Dogcat Fox. Oh, Dogcat Fox.
Wowie, wow, wow.
Oh, Dogcat Fox. How you doing, Dogcat Fox? Wowie, wow, wow. That's good. Oh, did I just click a button? I just clicked a button, didn't I? I clicked the wrong button. That's what I did. All right. So, thank you, Mr. Tickletrunk. Yeah, there are parts of us we can't bring to work. You mean like my personal life? That it shouldn't interfere in the workplace unless it's like a family emergency or something? I mean, something like that?
This isn't just something that I see in people that I speak to, but even in social media. Just 2 weeks ago, I saw a post from a young woman.
Yes.
She was reaching out for help because she'd been in her first role for about a year out of university. Her university environment had been so supportive of conversations about mental health and well-being, and she felt like it was really easy to talk to people there.
Yeah, strangely enough, school is not a professional workplace. I know, shocking. And especially if you're at some kind of liberal arts school where they promote a whole bunch of touchy-feely stuff, once you get into the corporate world or the official workplace, yeah, that's not really your focus. Your focus is your job. Let's go over the bingo card real quick on the off chance I've already missed something because I've been paying so attention to this. So we are in bingo card B. Just for a reminder for those of you that might have showed up late. Anecdote that probably never happened. The only one she's given so far is the social media post, and I can believe it, but we'll wait and hear the rest of it. Self-vilification or wretchedness, no. Systemic institutional, not directly yet. Weightless example, not yet. Word salad, no. Leaves out vital context, not yet. Collectivizes own demographic, no. Well, people like me, she hasn't gotten specific enough. I'm talking about demographics yet, just people in general, people who work. White supremacy, no. A list, not yet. Privilege, no. Sales pitch for product or service, we'll see. Plays victim, not specifically yet. Attempt to coin new buzzword, buzz phrase, no. Wage gap, no. Patriarchy, not yet. Feminism, same. Mind reading assumes motives. I think we'll get there. Diversity, equity, and inclusion, I think we'll get there in aggregate, if not in specifics. Marginalized, marginalization, same. Argumentative non sequitur, not yet. Childhood or family anecdote, no. Contradicts own point or argument, don't know what her argument is quite yet. Benevolent condescension, not yet. And microaggressions, unconscious bias, I'd be surprised if we don't get there, at least in reference. So there we go so far. Nothing circled. We're 1 minute and 16 in and nothing circled. I'm actually kind of surprised.
But in the workplace, she was finding that it was a different story. Her post said that she was experiencing anxiety attacks. She was getting ill.
Yeah.
And she didn't know what to say or who to talk to. There was just something about the workplace situation that was making it hard for her to speak up.
I wonder if she might have been, what's the word I'm looking for? Coddled prior to going out into the working world. I wonder if someone might have done her a disservice by not preparing her for what a professional environment is like versus a social, communicative, touchy-feely, hangout environment is like. Just a thought.
I knew this all too well because I experienced exactly the same thing.
Okay.
At 25, I experienced burnout.
Mm-hmm.
There was so much going on in my life at that time, and for whatever reason, I kept feeling this pressure to show up a certain way as this high-performing person who has everything under control. And I didn't feel like I could speak up about what was going on.
Oh my gosh, you mean you were maintaining a professional demeanor in spite of things going on in your real life that were irrelevant to the workplace? I have no idea what that's like. I have absolutely no idea what that's like. I'm sure that most adults, mature adults, have absolutely no idea what that's like, or anybody working a counter at McDonald's or anything else, because you're not there to grovel and revel in your own sadness. You're there for the workday to do your job. I mean, if you're having some kind of crippling mental health crisis that is keeping you from being able to do your job, yeah, okay, seek help, but not at work.
So I've really been curious about this.
I am too.
What is it about our workplaces, our leaders, and us that makes these conversations so uncomfortable?
What conversations? What specifically do you want to talk about in the workplace? You, not, just some abstract. Like, if you want to go to the workplace and you feel uncomfortable, what exactly do you want to talk about? And with whom would you want to talk about it with? And of what purpose or need is it to do so in the workplace and not on your own time? That is not the company's time or the time you should be doing your job.
Authenticity isn't just a nice to have.
It's not just a nice to have. It's an imperative, or it's a necessity, or I don't know. What would you say it is?
What we've found is through the Wellbeing at Work survey done by AUT, in the last 18 months, people are experiencing more and more the risk of burnout.
Oh my gosh. You mean during a pandemic, people's stress levels are higher? From May of 2020 through November of 2021. Wow. In 18 months during a pandemic, people's stress about or at work duties has increased, you say? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I can't imagine what could possibly be affecting those numbers.
Back in April of 2020, your risk of burnout was 1 in 9.
Oh.
This year, in fact, just last month, November 2021, the Wellbeing at Work study discovered that your risk of burnout is just 1 in 3.
Oh God! I benevolent condescension. I don't know what. Well, okay, I'll wait. Maybe she'll mention the pandemic. Or maybe she'll try to dismiss the pandemic as a factor. That'd be funny. Come on, hit the button.
Now, that statistic really took my breath away.
Because you were having respiratory arrest?
Burnout's no joke. It's not something I would ever want anyone else to experience. But regardless of all the research we have and how much we know about burnout, its prevalence, and the fact that it is increasing, organizations haven't seemed to do anything about it.
Okay. So your sample was from one of the most hectic, stressful, fearful, panic-ridden periods in modern history. You're not going to bring that up, okay? Well, I hope you do. Otherwise, I'm going to circle leaves out vital context. If you never bring up the pandemic, I mean, I will give you enough time to remedy that. But then if you also just brush it away as though it were nothing. But Okay, so burnout. What do you recommend that organizations do to prevent burnout? If someone is working, say, a full-time job, which is, I don't know what it is in Australia, which I'm assuming this is taking place, but in America, at least, it's 40 hours a week. So what?
Why is that?
Wait, why are companies not dealing with burnout? I don't know. Maybe it's because it's not their responsibility to do so. Okay.
Well, there's a great article in Harvard Business Review called Why Organizations Don't Learn. It talks about 4 things.
Oh, a list. Oh boy, a list, a formal list. I like a list. Circling that, circling free space just for the heck of it. All right. What are the 4 things that a company or why companies don't learn? Maybe because if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
4 thinking styles, behavior styles.
Oh, okay.
That mean that we change the way that we show up at work. And the really amazing thing is that they create an acronym called SAFE. S-A-F-E.
Oh.
The first is we care more about success than we do about trying new things, making mistakes and failing.
Oh, okay.
Because this focus on success of the things we're meant to achieve, the KPIs, the targets, these create definitions of success that are outside of ourselves.
Yes.
It creates an innate sense of a fear of failure.
Yes. Yes, because work is generally a place where you're supposed to complete your task and meet your numbers. And yes, the fear of failure is what drives you to do well at work. And by the way, for those of you that might be saying otherwise, that is not a new buzzword buzz phrase. This is something that she read in a book somewhere, so it's not something that she's trying to coin or turn into her own book title or something. Yes, do your job and do it successfully. That is generally everyone's target goal at work if they wish to maintain their employment and get paid.
And when we have that fear of failure, we want to go back to behaviors and ways of doing things which have made us successful in the past.
Yes.
So we take that way of doing things and we just keep repeating it over and over.
Yeah, it's sort of like what my dad says. You go to a job interview and they say, I see you have 10 years of experience doing X. And I say, actually, I have 1 year of experience doing X 10 times. By the way, that's not something you should actually say at a job interview, but that's just sort of the smart aleck thing of saying, because, if there is a way to do something correctly, then you do it that way. Now, if you find a way in the course of doing it correctly to innovate or find a better way of doing it, well, by all means. I mean, I was introduced to my job as this is how you do this. And then over the course of a relatively short period of time, I found out that there were better ways to do what I was doing and achieve the same result with less effort. You know, what I learned from Scrooge McDuck, work smarter, not harder. If I can not screw things up like that. But usually when you go to a job, depending on what job it is, there is a way to do something correctly, and it doesn't really change all that much. So
we don't learn, we don't grow, and we're not innovating. We're not trying anything new.
Who's we? I found plenty of innovation in my job over the years by thinking about what I was doing and finding ways to do it easier and still achieve the same result. You know, success through innovation. I don't know who you mean by we. Oh, wait, am I supposed to take every time you say we as me? Is this all taking place inside your head?
The second is a focus on action. So we're keeping busy. We're doing all the things. Our to-do lists are massive. Our calendars are full of meetings. And on the one hand, it makes us feel really important. But on the other hand, it causes exhaustion.
Okay, mind reading assumes motives. I don't feel important when I'm just doing my job. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm lucky enough that I don't feel like a complete cog in a machine at my current place of employment. But having meetings and things is just a routine. It's part of the job. I mean, I feel important in the sense that I know I'm doing something that is vital for the company and in helping other people with their work. But outside of that, that's just par for the course. But again, it really does all depend on what your job is. You're talking as though work is just some box factory somewhere that everybody goes to. Like when Tommy Pickles was trying to imagine what his dad did when he went to quote unquote work. I mean, when I was a kid, I thought that for some reason, when I'm like a very small child, my understanding of work, and I'm not kidding, my understanding of work is that all the dads got up every morning and drove off to some place where they made chairs. I'm not kidding. For some reason, my tiny little toddler brain believed that work meant dads go to make wooden chairs somewhere. And that persisted for at least a couple of years until I understood a little bit more about the world around me. Thank you, Keeper Dam. Lexi's here. Oh, well, Lexi's here. I guess I can begin. And no, I'm not going to do the thing where I start the show again because that's getting to be an old trope. I'm not going to do that again. Ah, you thought I was going to do it again, didn't you?
And it contributes to that likelihood of burnout.
Wait. Action contributes to burnout because you're doing your job. I mean, okay, I don't know what happens in your world. Are people allowed breaks? Are people allowed from time to time sick leave and or vacation time? You know, I mean, obviously you have to accrue it. And depending on your tenure, you may get more or fewer hours per paycheck. I don't know how it works in Australia. And I suppose it's probably different from workplace to workplace. But again, you are painting with such a broad brush here.
The next, F, is about fitting in. We're really great as human beings of being able to see how other people are behaving and what makes them successful, and adapting ourselves so that we can be part of that organization, to fit in, to belong.
What are you talking? Have you met another person before? Have you met anyone who is, I don't know, socially awkward by any chance? What do you... Okay. You know, I'm going to circle collectivize own demographic because she seems to just want to assume this uniformity of reality, people, and otherwise. I'm pretty sure she is speaking for herself, but she is projecting onto the rest of the world. So I know it's a little bit of an abstract, but I'm circling collectivize own demographic.
And that's a wonderful thing, except when it means that there are strengths and there are parts of ourselves that we don't bring.
Are they relevant or necessary to the workplace? I mean, you're not telling us what you're talking about, but I'll ask as abstract a question as you're giving us an example. If I am a professional level basketball player, but I'm working in a box factory, what does that have to do with working in a box factory?
Things that we deny, things that we hide.
Like what?
So we sacrifice something when we fit in.
What? I'm circling leaves out vital context. If not for the pandemic obvious element to what she was talking about earlier, then what I'm pretty sure she's not going to give us here. So let's see, where did I put that one? There it is. Leaves out vital context.
But when a leader comes up through an environment like this, they tend to expect that from others.
Expect what?
So instead of embracing diversity.
Oh, diversity. Okay, diversity, equity, and inclusion. On the board, instead of embracing diversity. What do you mean? You need to give an example. You know what? And I will take a personal example. What strength have you had to leave behind when you're at the workplace? Right? And by leaving that strength behind, whatever that is and why ever that is, how is that your leader's fault for not, asking you about your personal life? Or I don't know, because you're not telling us. But okay.
They're instead looking for compliance.
Yes.
And the people pleasing.
Yeah.
I know people pleasing myself. It's something that I've struggled with for a very long time.
You don't say.
But it really damages your sense of authenticity because you're constantly figuring out what other people around you need and expect from you.
Well, I got a tip for you. Read your job description.
And it creates so much tension.
Sounds like a personal problem. The more I listen to you, this sounds like a pain self-chosen.
The last,
Uh-huh.
expert.
Right.
We create this image of ourselves
Uh-huh.
as the go-to person, the person that knows things.
Who are you? Okay, I know. I'm repeating myself, but good gravy, lady. Just say you're talking about yourself. Okay? Stop projecting onto the rest of humanity. If she was giving effectively a first-person essay on her own experience and how she tried to change, etc., I could accept that. I mean, I wouldn't have any way to argue it. But that's not what she's doing. And this might reflect part of her problem in trying to get along with the rest of the world.
As the go-to person, the person that knows things, the person who's the expert on this particular subject. And we work hard to bring that to reality.
Uh-huh.
But it creates a frame of reference, which means that we see things as right or wrong.
I know she's not going to give us an example. If you have a job, and your job is to fulfill a particular function, and there is a way to measure your success at this function, and there is a way to achieve success at this function, and there's a way to fail at this function, then yes, most things are very much right or wrong. But again, it all depends on what your job is and your job description.
When we engage with others who may have different opinions, different perspectives than what we do, we might try and just subtly get them to see things our way.
Yeah.
Or we may become actually quite directive and tell people how things should be done.
Oh my gosh, are you telling me there are different personality types with social interaction? I don't know. Or there are different ways to approach different people in a diplomatic method? I don't know. I don't. You tell me. This is all new to me.
Rather than letting them figure things out for themselves, try and make mistakes.
What if I don't want them to make mistakes? What if somebody's life is at stake? What if the company's fortunes are at stake? Go out there and make some mistakes. It doesn't really sound like the smartest leadership thing. You know, better to do this. Hey, do not hesitate to ask me a question if you're not sure about something. There is no shame in asking a question to make sure you get something right. How about that?
So there are so many strengths to being the expert.
Yeah.
But they're also really, really difficult to collaborate with.
What?
Which means that it's harder to achieve your collective goals.
What are you talking about?
So, SAFE, if those four things are safe thinking.
Safe thinking. I don't know. A clever acronym. Yeah, okay, safe thinking. And then?
And those are the things that we go to when we feel a sense of pressure or stress because those things are going to help us feel a sense of comfort, security, and safeness. Then what's the alternative?
I don't know. I'm still waiting for you to articulate a specific problem, because so far it's been nothing but abstracts and amorphous notions. But okay, what is the alternative to safe thinking, where you're focused on achieving your goals, you're focused on the actions necessary to achieve those goals, you're focused on, I already forget what F and E were because I don't really care, but okay. Yeah, okay, well, what is the better method? What is your preferred method?
If we decide we want to show up more of who we really are.
If we decide we want to bring irrelevancies from our personal life into the workplace, yes.
If we decide we want to show up more of who we really are, to embrace authenticity, it can be really hard.
Yeah.
Because giving up that safe thinking means we have to replace it with something new.
You mean like a focus on your work and not your personal desires during the work hours of your day? Yeah. Do you know that work, most people, if they had a choice, wouldn't do it? You know, it's very rare that someone ends up in a job or a career or a position that is something that is fulfilling for them, in a sense that it complements their own personality, their own interests, their own passions. You know, you're a very lucky person if somehow you can find a way that your work, your income, your livelihood comes from something that you love doing and is a natural extension of yourself. Like if you're a pianist, right? Or a singer or something where you just love what you do and you get paid to do it. Hey, that's great. That's great. Most of us just want to go to work, get our work done, and then go home back to our real lives. There's actually a value, if you can believe it, in separating, having clear lines between my work day and my own day. I don't know if you're aware of that. Some people actually like having a very clear line between where work ends and life begins. But maybe that's just me. So what do you recommend in the alternative?
For myself, that meant I had to let go of my perfectionist and embrace the fact that I might make mistakes.
Are you 4 years old or something? Good gravy, lady. You're an adult. Accepting the possibility that you may make a mistake and learning from it is something you should learn when you are a child. What regimen of coddling did you go through to this point? At least this point in your story. Is that like boomer thinking now? Understanding that you will make mistakes and that all you can do and the only good thing you can do from it is to learn from those mistakes? Okay, so you just had this revelation sometime. Oh, at least, you know what? Kudos. I am glad you are now speaking about yourself and you're not projecting out into the rest of the world. But okay, you learned that I might occasionally make a mistake. All right.
I might fail.
Yeah.
I might try things and not achieve the results I want and keep trying and failing, trying and failing.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, there does come a point where you might have to learn the lesson of, if I keep doing the same thing over and over again and getting the same result, it might be insanity. But yes. Try and try again. Yes.
And that, in a way, was kind of terrifying, to be honest.
To be honest, like before all this, you were being dishonest?
So it's a real decision and a real commitment. But to do it, we can't just delete safe thinking.
Stop saying we. Just own it, will you? It's not we, it's you. This is you talking. This is you talking about what you thought, what you experienced, what's worked for you. Stop owning the rest of the world and take responsibility for yourself.
We have to replace it with something new.
Okay, what?
So there are 4 things which I've replaced safe thinking with, which really help me to be courageous.
Oh, please tell me it's another acronym. I've got a square ready to be circled. Please tell me it's a new acronym.
to try new things,
Uh-huh.
to keep learning and growing.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And the great offshoot is that I feel more authentic,
Oh,
confident, and can bring more of myself to any situation.
okay. Even though you haven't at all detailed what that means, but great. Okay. Tell me what your acronym is, what it spells. I got a square just ready to be circled.
The first is purpose.
PCCL. You're in quite a pickle. I'm going to do it anyway. I don't care. Attempt to coin new buzzword, buzz phrase. Tell us about your pickle. Oh, I have to hit the button.
A sense of purpose
Uh-huh.
gives us our own inner definition of success.
Okay, my sense of purpose. Earning money to pay rent. There's my purpose. Earning money to put money away for a rainy day or my kid's college fund or whatever. There's my purpose. To maintain a steady revenue stream.
Rather than what other people expect of us, those external KPIs, targets, we figure out for ourselves who we are, what we're here to contribute, and the impact that we want to have on others.
I work in bulk data processing. I don't have any impact on anybody. I don't really have to socialize with anybody. Nothing that I do is going to cure cancer. It's Have you ever had just a job before? I'm not sure that our speaker lives on this same plane of existence as, well, again, I'm not going to collectivize my own demographic, but I have met few people in my life who are working their dream.
The next is clarity.
Uh-huh.
Taking time to really think and consider about what's important to us, taking that purpose and creating action steps and a plan that's going to help us to bring that to reality.
Okay, I'm going to ask it again because I cannot help myself. What are you talking about? If you're not going to provide an example, this all sounds like dime store self-help nonsense. If you cannot give me a functional example, even if it's just a personal and anecdotal one, of how this process helped you in your job and made you go from point A in your performance at your job to point B in your performance in your job, that I have no idea what you're talking about this entire time. This does not reflect well on your argument for why you're having problems at work.
To help us make decisions about the things which we can uniquely bring our gifts and talents to, and the things which we can delegate, or the things that we can politely decline.
Like what?
Thirdly,
Yeah.
a focus on connection.
Uh-huh.
One of the gifts of people that you can really trust and be yourself with is that you get the opportunity to learn even more about who you are and how you relate to other people.
This is kind of stuff you do with your inside voice most of the time. I mean, again, it really does depend on what kind of job you have and the workplace you're working in and the atmosphere there and the culture in said workplace. But that, okay.
In connection,
Yeah.
these trusted relationships mean that we can expand, grow, and perform at new levels
What are you talking
in ways which
about?
we didn't even think possible for ourselves.
Like what?
We can admit mistakes. We can be honest about our struggles and the things which we wouldn't necessarily want to admit about ourselves, but are part of the fullness of our humanity.
What? I feel like I should have like a ukulele and sitting around a campfire singing Kumbaya right now. What? You're not going to tell us a single thing of your own personal experience in applying these rules to your work, whatever your work is. I'm not even sure what you do. Are you? No, okay.
And lastly,
yes.
a focus on learning.
Uh-huh.
Learning is a skill that we as humans just naturally have built into us.
You don't say. Are we thinking mammals? I had no idea.
You can see that from small children,
Yeah.
right from the first days and hours of their life. They're
Really? Are children moving through the world and effectively learning from their interactions with the world and learning from their mistakes? Is that what we do? Is that how we learn? Sorry, I cut her off.
children, right from the first days and hours of their life. They're constantly open to and absorbing things and learning and developing from it.
Yeah.
We carry that capacity throughout our lives.
Really?
And so our ability to learn, to try new things,
Oh my God.
to reflect on them is a key part of our adaptability, especially when life gets so different and uncertain like it is today.
Oh, do you mean like necessity is the mother of invention? Right? The pressure turns coal into diamonds. I mean, I could just belt them out all day. Yeah. I wouldn't pay $14.99 for your self-help CD. I really wouldn't. Do they even use CDs anymore? Boy, I'm a boomer.
So if we can carry those things with us, our sense of purpose,
Yes.
our clarity,
Yes.
connection with others,
Mm-hmm.
and our ability to keep changing, growing, and learning throughout our lives,
Yeah.
we'll automatically bring more of who we are to every situation that we're in.
Okay, so people don't do any of those things. We do not do any of those things. You need to tell us that this is what we need to do, because people are not doing those things at all, anytime. Or, okay, the majority of people aren't. The majority of people don't think about their purpose. They don't think about the clarity of their day or their work. They don't think about, what was your second C? I don't know. They don't care about learning. They don't learn on reflex. They don't ponder these imponderables all the time. Only you have come to this realization somehow. Okay.
I've had the benefit of this experience for myself, and I can now happily say that the organizations I'm working with and the people that I coach, I feel like I have those connections with.
Oh, you're a coach. How could I have guessed? Okay, benevolent condescension, circling that one. If I should have probably done it a long time ago, but circling it now. I don't know. Is that a sales pitch for a product or service? I'm a coach for organizations and individuals. I'm thinking it might be.
I can bring all of who I am to them.
Why would
I can
you?
have difficult conversations with confidence,
Like what?
knowing that my self-worth doesn't rest in what anybody else thinks of me.
I mean, I guess that is a true statement for the most part. Yeah. It is the operative word in self-worth is self. Yeah. Does everyone have a right to all of you at every stage of your workday? You know, what if, and I know this is just very bizarre, what if I do not want work to own every part of me? What if I do not want my work entwined with every part of my life? What if I like the separation? What if I actually appreciate the professional distance? Does that make me a bad person? Some kind of robotic person or something? I would love to ask our speaker that question.
But it rests right here.
Uh-huh.
And so I may not be having safe thinking, and I may not feel that sense of security and comfort.
Oh, I get it, yeah.
But I feel more of a sense of my own aliveness.
I may not be really effective in the workplace, but I feel great about myself. Thank you, Miss Tickle Trunk. Sounds like she never tried anything and failed before. Helicopter parenting damages kids. Exhibit A. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I can make some guesses. And granted that she's being authentic in her abstract retelling of her own thoughts and experiences, such as they are, but
the contribution that I make, the impact that I have on others.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't swap that for anything.
Why not? You wouldn't? Really? Okay, because here's the thing. It sounds like you tie your self-worth to what other people think of you. I mean, the impact you have on others. Well, what if everybody had a negative experience? What would your self-worth be then? Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. Okay, let's see this. Oh, yeah, University of Auckland. Well, I was, fairly sure it was Australia, but didn't want to assume. People can move around. Okay, so we had one big undefined self-help thing, sort of abstract fortune cookie talk. Okay. Did you know that during the pandemic, people's stress levels went up? Good Lord. All right. Let's move on to the wonderful world of the bingo card. Again, bingo card B. Links are in the description if you need to get to your bingo card. I will see if I can resize this a little bit so it fits a little bit better in the window. There we go. That's better. All right. So where are we at present? Well, here we are. All right. We are very close. Very close. I'll go over it once myself, see if anything pops out at me, and then if any squares left uncircled are things that you think should be circled, prepare your arguments, and we'll go forward. Anecdote that probably never happened. My kingdom for an anecdote, aside from that one posting by someone on social media, which, all things considered, I don't have any reason to disbelieve, she didn't give us any anecdotes with enough details to weigh. So, self-vilification or wretchedness. There was definitely the whiff of being down on oneself across the course of it. I can't point to necessarily any one specific, dramatic example, but there was this sort of, I have been a flawed person. I learned from my mistakes, etc. This is what's helped me because before I was all these other things. So I'm comfortable circling that one. Systemic institutional. I'm hesitant to say that because she kept saying we and she kept referring to society, etc. Well, sort of. I mean, did she? That's a tough one. I mean, I don't think she brought up systems, or we're not allowed to, or something. I don't know. I'll leave it. If you guys have a good argument, there you go. Weightless example. I am so tempted to circle for that graph. It's double dipping because it leaves out vital context, but her leaving out the vital context is not the same thing as that graph. The graph is a thing by itself. And that graph, it didn't have any numbers. It didn't tell us anything. And it had nothing to do with anything else she was talking about. Did she ever actually solve for burnout in that entire deal? I mean, bringing up burnout could as well be the weightless example. And so, consequently...
I had a dog, and his name was... What? I had a dog, and his name was...
Bingo!
Of course!
Oh, Bingo. And Bingo was his name. Hello, Ebony Williams. Hello, Dylan Farnham. Did I miss anybody else that I didn't get? Oh, Payar D. Bayar. Hello. So there you go. We have our first bingo. Word salad. You think a bunch of abstract gobbledygook nonsense talk with no definition is a word salad? I think so. Let's see. White supremacy. Nope, she never brought up race or anything. She brought up diversity, but she never got any more specific than that, so I don't know what she's talking about. Privilege. She never said the word. I would need a good argument to say there was enough there abstractly to delete that one. Sales pitch for product or service. Okay. Her own list of things to focus on. I'm a coach. I work for organizations and with organizations. That's enough for me. I came up with my own mantra, etc. Yeah, I'm gonna circle that one. Plays victim. I mean, can you play the victim of yourself? Well, okay. And was it a disingenuous victimhood? That's really the thing. The plays victim part is, was it being disingenuous? I'm trying to think of whether she was playing a victim, but I can't quite see through Spud Gun. So, oh, wait, what? No, well, obviously you're not invisible, Spud Gun. I can't see through my next thought. I'm going to extend this, and I'm happy to take an argument elsewise. I'm going to extend that nothing about her projected or expressed discomfort or uncertainty is false. I believe that she has been and really is that uncomfortable with herself or had been at one time, etc. So I don't think she was playing a victim. I don't think there was any false drama going on there. I'll take arguments otherwise. Wage gap, she never brought it up. I mean, she talked about work and everything, but she never talked about numbers. Patriarchy, no. Feminism, no. She never really brought up gender either. Marginalization. I mean, it was mildly suggested by the leaders who don't want you to bring your full self to work or something, your authentic self, maybe. That's kind of thin. I'm going to leave it. Argumentative non sequitur. Okay. Burnout or... Actually, no, wait. Did she bring up something that she never brought up again? Or she never followed through to its conclusion. Burnout, just the idea of burnout. I mean, the chart by itself was a weightless example because it had nothing to do with anything. She never mentioned the pandemic. She never gave us any specifics. That's, no context. Just bringing up this problem of burnout and then also saying that she was going to, why aren't companies doing something about this? As though there was going to be some suggestions for what companies should do. But everything that she was talking about was self-work, was internal process. Yeah, I'm gonna circle argument of non sequitur. It's like she brought that up as though there was going to be a payoff. Childhood or family anecdote. The only anecdote she brought up about herself was something when she was like 25 years old, and that's beyond childhood, and she never talked about her family, so I can't really circle that one. Contradicts own point or argument. What was her argument? Learn from your mistakes? You have to be honest with yourself about not being a perfectionist? Maybe my head's too full of other nonsense right now. I'm sure there's a good argument for that. I'll leave it for you guys. And lastly, microaggressions, unconscious bias. Yeah, I'm gonna circle that one because of what she talked about with the leaders who would reflexively deny or not inquire and dismiss diversity from their teams or something, like they were just totally focused on work and nothing else, didn't want to talk about the people. I mean, maybe it's a bit of a stretch, but that's kind of how I took it. So anyway, there's the card as I have it right now. If you have arguments for squares to be circled, please put them in the chat now, and be sure to tag me in your argument so I can see it as clear as possible. And if I miss your argument, please don't post, read my argument. Just repost your argument. I'll try to get to it. Let's see. Dylan Farnham says, her being white is a microaggression. Dylan, I think you need to look inward towards your purpose and clarity and learn something about the thing. Ranting Monkey says, circle them all. Do it. I dare you. Do it. Now, Ranting Monkey, I am not going to violate the sanctity of the bingo card by giving in to your peer pressure. There's rules. Read my argument. Okay. That I am a dumbass is not an argument I'm going to accept. Bye, monkey. Take care. Get some sleep. Rest elsewise. Read mine first. Okay, well, I'm not seeing any arguments actually here. You guys are going to joke around. We have a bingo card here, guys. This is serious business. This is your job. Do your job. Don't you want to go in your home? Get in your home. Nothing to see here. Scribelight, implied privilege. Who can, quote unquote, politely decline something you are asked to do, told to do at work? Did she say that? Am I? Okay, I need some more context there. I need some more context. Nothing to see here. NTSH. I'm getting acronyms now. Let's see. Mike Savage, Ranting Monkey. So this is warming up your vocal cords. Oh, is he doing like speech to text? Is that it? Septus Wolf, you aren't paying me to fill out your bingo card. Why is that? I'm taking advantage of your emotional labor. I confess. Dylan, her being white is a privilege, but she is a female, so it goes without saying she is a victim of patriarchy and wage gap. Dylan, while all these things may indeed be true in real life, they were not a part of her presentation, and we are restricted to the boundaries of what she presents. So, I'm sorry. Monk just went live. Oh, am I stepping on the monkey's toes? Oh, I see how it is. I see how it is. All right. All right. Well, I'll tell you what, since I'm still busy here, those of you that can open up another window, please go extend my apologies to Monkey for treading on his time. He couldn't wait 10 minutes. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's okay. Mr. Tickletrunk, the bingo card must remain sacred. Hey, if it's going to have any educational and informational value, it must. So I'm not seeing any other arguments for squares to be circled. Are you sure about that? I'll give another minute or two. I'll give it to the top of the hour, just so I can still kind of rag on Monkey. Spudgun, Scribelight, I told him I was listening to you. I was finishing here before I went there. Oh, don't let me keep you. Oh, no. I understand. I know who your true love is. I know who you like more. I've always known. He was the bigger draw in Lords of the Night. I know, everybody was there for a sexy voice. Sexy voice. I was Kermit the Frog, but he was the golden throat. Like, oh, fuck do I know? All right, well, with that, not seeing any other arguments to be made, I guess I'll call you relatively short TEDx tonight. Pressures from outside I don't have any control over. Time, space, Ranting Monkey's broadcasting addiction. What am I going to do? But yeah, so if you'd like to hear more from me, oh, what's this? Keeverdam, I'm staying here until you finish. Boy, oh boy, could I make a dirty joke about that phrase right there, couldn't I? But this is a family show, so... Thank you, Keeverdam, for all of your generosity. But there you go, everyone. One bingo. It's more bingos than we've had on some nights, less than others. But, the bingo card is sacred. Every square circled is a success of its own. And the action that we took in order to achieve this success was a group effort. And the F I don't remember, and the E is for excellence, as in TED excellence. which is what we all have experienced tonight. Everyone, thank you so much for joining me tonight. If you'd like to hear more from me, you can find me here Sunday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern for the Sunday stream, where I will talk about a thing and stuff. And I don't know what it is yet. I usually decide that on Saturday. Thank you, Chicago Mike. Kermit meets Marvin is Scribe's voice. Where is my Q45 space modulator? I don't know. I can't do that one. It's like, it's not easy being green. Oh, where is my Q45 space modulator? It was a Q34, Q43, Q32. I don't remember. It's Q something. Thanks, Mike. You do so much for my self-esteem. But then again, the operative word in self-esteem is self. And I appreciate all of yourselves joining me tonight. Moderators, thank you for keeping an eye on things. Even though everyone here is so well behaved, you have very little to do. Everybody who donated, either to myself or to anyone in the GoFundMe's pinned at the top of the chat box, thank you guys so much for your generosity. I really do appreciate it, and I know they do too. Everyone, go bug Ranting Monkey for me. I'm going to go bug him in a second here just because I can. And beyond that, I hope you all have a good rest of your evening, rest of your week, a good weekend ahead of you. I hope you are all safe and well. If you are not well, please get well soon, and I will see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.